Hello, everybody. Cecil Pearson Jr. struggling to come at you here. Live from YouTube. It's Tuesday morning. I hope each and every one of you is just as blessed as I am. I actually hope more so. I don't think the notification went out, which somehow doesn't surprise me. Been having a little trouble with YouTube. It still won't accept the signal from the computer. I can go live on the phone, but not from my PC where all of the equipment's at. Oh, Cozy Van Cleef. There's Logan and Terry. There's Grim. I got me an email or two yesterday about me blaspheming God. Because I made a joke about, Jesus jumping out the closet like him is. Also got several emails telling me once again that I'm living a high life, the life of Riley, because I had a $4 bag of tater chips. Really? If I really was a man of God living a frugal life, I'd be eating great value. Well, let me be the first to tell you I pretty much buy great value everything. It's cheaper. Or Kroger everything. I don't even buy the private select because it costs a little bit more than the Kroger stuff does. Morning, Chrissy, Franco, Kate, Glenda. But people seriously getting sideways with me because I had a bag of Lay's potato chips. Hey, gal.
Yeah,
May I have my bag of Lay's barbecue potato chips?
yeah, hold on.
I can't eat the Great Value brand right now, but I do prefer it. I do prefer Great Value over Lay's. And the reason I do is they taste better. I like the powder on the barbecue chips better. They taste wonderful. Oh no, I've already been told I should be drinking not even RC Cola because that's a name brand. I should be drinking Sam's Choice or checks or something extremely cheap that I'm wasting money on Coca-Cola. Here's what I got to say to you. You're welcome, Robert. That other one will be getting to you just as soon as I get it in. I'm out of those. See? That is a Lay's barbecue potato chip. And you know what? It's not as good as the Sam's Choice. Great value brand. It's not. But if all you do is come over here to my channel to pick on what I eat or drink and whether or not I'm being wasteful with my money, number one, Jack, you ain't never sent me a penny. Shut your mouth. Number two, why don't you go kick rocks barefooted, all right? I buy cheap gas. Well, as cheap as I can get. I buy cheap rabbit food. I don't buy cheap dog food because it gives my dogs the runs. Well, if you had ever lived through one of their farts, you certainly wouldn't want to live through their runs. But the thing that gets me is most of the time the people that yell about me blaspheming God because they got a sense of humor. Or if that I have teached false doctrine like I did yesterday is what I was told. I taught false doctrine yesterday because I said we're not under the old covenant, we're under the new. We're not under the law of Moses, we're under the law of Jesus. Jesus said that I ain't. Morning, Jenny darling. Love you, honey. Well, thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. They're talking about your area getting hit bad with snow, Jenny. Y'all be careful down there, okay? Let me know you're doing all right. Um, for those of you that don't know, Jenny, Jenny got a special place in my heart. Always will have. When I was laying in that bed about to die, I don't answer questions. Look it up. Um, Jenny made her husband, Joey, bring her up here where she could lay hands on me and pray. So Jenny has a very special place in my heart because she literally saw me knocking on heaven's door. And no one will ever convince me that it wasn't the hands on prayers of that woman that didn't keep me alive. Nobody will ever convince me of that. I'm here because she obeyed God. And that's a fact. So let's get into the nuts and bolts of this thing this morning. Title of it's called Fruits. And a lot of people don't realize the difference in the fruits. You see people every day. They're going about their business. They're doing their best to survive. In this apocalyptic world that we're going into. And they're in the valley. And they're learning. They're being pressed down. And they're learning. They're learning how to trust God. They're learning how to obey God. And the devil will show them at the corner of their eye, this mountain that's right there. And they immediately think that if they run over and jump onto this mountain and begin to climb this mountain, that when they reach the top of it, they'll be out of the trouble and out of the valley. Because they'll be on the mountaintop. Honey, sometimes the mountaintop is barren and covered with snow. Ask Sister Janet. She lives in Utah. And she sent me some beautiful pictures of the snow-capped mountains around where she is. And these are some rugged mountains. They'd be rough to climb. Just like the mountains in your life. See, that mountain that Satan showed you was a distraction to get you out of the valley and into more trouble. Because because while you were in the valley, you were learning. You were learning to trust in God. You were learning to trust in Jesus. You were learning to follow the leadings of the Holy Spirit. And well, the devil can't have that. So he's got to set you to climbing. Get you away from all them lessons. But when you get to the top of that barren, snow-capped mountain, instead of saying, well, I fell for the devil's trick, you scream at the top of your lungs, oh God! Oh God, why? I climbed so hard for so long to get up this mountain. God, why is it barren? Why is it snow covered? Why is there nothing here for me? And God whispers in your ear, because I didn't give you the mountain. I had you learning in the valley, and the valley wasn't good enough for you. You had to try to get somewhere else. That's why. See, this part of the message is free. Good morning, Brother Brown. Oh, Glenda, Interstellar. You scream and you raise rip with God because you got yourself in a mess. God ain't had nothing to do with that. God was perfectly content with you learning how to trust Him and love Him and obey Him down there in that valley. Oh no, but you wasn't content with that, so you had to go climb up the mountain. Well, it wasn't His mountain for you to climb. That was the devil's mountain. See, when you get to the top of God's mountain, that's where the peace and the joy resides. But when you're climbing the devil's mountain, you might as well peeing off side of the world into the wind, because it's just going to go blow back all over you. But now let's talk about this fruit. You got some high hanging fruit that nobody can reach. Praise, prayer, joy. Nobody can reach that. Nobody can touch your joy. Nobody can stop you from praying or stop you from praising. You have to stop yourself. But you also have to be willing to share that fruit with the ones that's on the ground. But you tend to keep that to yourself because it's the good stuff. It tastes the best, right? That's where the softest, most juiciest peaches are. They're up at the top of the tree where you can't reach it. That's where that sweetest, reddest apple's located, right on the very tippy top. And you want to keep that for yourself. But we're supposed to share, right? We're supposed to share our praise and our prayer and our joy with others, that they might come to know the Lord. We're supposed to be that light that sits on a hill. Hide it under a bushel? No, I'm going to let it shine. Then you got that medium hanging fruit. That's the stuff that you share with your family and at your job and with your lifestyles and stuff like that. They're going to put us on the lifestyles of the not so rich and famous. They want to see me go hog wild over beans and barbecue. They want to see my fair lane up on blocks, holes in all my socks. They're going to put us on the lifestyles of the not so rich and famous. Well, guess what, folks? I'm like old Joe Diffie in that song. My idea of champagne and caviar really is RC Cola and a moon pie. I love a moon pie, not the chocolate ones, the banana ones. Yep, the yaller ones. Yeah, I love them yaller moon pies. Woo! I love a yaller moon pie more than I do a fig Newton, and that's saying something. Then you got that low-hanging fruit. The way you present yourself to the world. The fruit that gets picked up by everybody around. Anybody can reach that fruit. But what did Jesus say? Matthew chapter 7, verse 16 through 20, Jesus said, "You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns, or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth forth not good fruit is hewn down," or cut down, "and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits shall you know them." See, a bad tree can't bring forth good fruit. So if you one of these sink it and drink it Christians that believe it's all right to get drunk, beat the hell out of your wife and your kids, and squander all your money on gambling, and not do what you're supposed to do and follow the teachings of Christ, you believe you ain't got to do that, you're not bringing forth good fruit. I don't care how many hamburgers you give to the homeless. You could be the hamburglar, and it wouldn't make no difference. Understand? You ain't getting no blessing for it. Sorry, that's just the way it is. Blessings are reserved. The blessings of God are reserved for those who follow his teachings. Oh, Brother Cecil, I think you're being blasphemous again. I don't give a hell what you think. Kick rocks. Excuse me. See, if I give out evil, nasty, judgmental fruit all the time, who in God's name is going to want to come to my table to eat? If I'm constantly jumping up and down like a showstopper, yelling and screaming and hollering about how you going to hell, who's going to want to come hear anything I've got to say? Nobody. It is my job to tell you, if you don't change your ways and follow the teachings of Christ, you're going to hell. That's my job. No, it ain't popular. Never has been. Not even when it was coming out of Jesus' mouth. They nailed him to the cross for it. All right? So, it never has been popular. Jesus' teachings has never been cutting edge. They've never been the newest, latest, greatest technology. No, they never have been. Because they tell you that you got to get yourself out the way and do for others. That you don't benefit yourself, you let God benefit you. You be the benefactor of God and let others be the benefactor of you. Everything you do can't be self-motivated, self-propagated, self-serving. You got to be giving. Jesus said, "No greater love than a man have that he lay down his life for a friend." You got to be willing to lay your life down for somebody other than you. Good morning. This thing on? I hope it is. I tapped that like it's working. It's just the thing that gets me. Everybody wants that low hanging fruit, but nobody really wants to go get a ladder and climb for the praise and the prayer. No, they want to get the low hanging stuff. Then you got that bottom fruit, the fruit that has fell to the ground and started to rot. You got that bitter fruit, that fruit that has that nobody wants. You know, y'all see me over there on Facebook. I get these little sour candies and I put them in my mouth and I waller them around a little bit and get them wet. And then y'all get to see all the sour faces that I make. And I do it because it brings humor. It makes people laugh. I really don't enjoy the bitterness and the tartness. But it brings people a lot of joy and makes their day a little better. And if I can do that, my job's been well spent for the day. Okay, I've done a good job that day. If I can make somebody's life just a little bit better, if I can make myself seem just a little bit more approachable, then I've done my job. But if you come to my house and you sat down at my table and I present you with rhubarb without a stitch of sugar, you ain't gonna care much for that. No, sir. That stuff will turn your mouth wrong side out. If I present to you a rutabaga or Brussels sprouts, no. No. If you show up and all I ever feed you is chicken liver, goose liver, or beef liver, or maybe I give you some goat innards, some goat heart and lungs, and serve you eyeball soup, you'd stop wanting to come to my table to eat, right? Why would I want to go to Brother Cecil's house? He's serving tripe again. Every time I walk in there, it's like I'm being hit in the face with a cow turd. Why would you want to go eat at that? You wouldn't. And the rotten fruit, these rotten people that take advantage of other folks, we really ain't got to call them out. Brent and I do, to try to keep our congregation and our friends and family from being taken advantage of. But at the end of the day, it's your job to listen. It's our job to warn, it's your job to listen. And if you don't, you ain't got nobody to blame for it but yourself. When it all goes sideways and you standing there and you ain't got no money because you gave it to somebody else that was skimming the fire out of you. You know, I tell you, hey, don't answer them questions on Facebook about what was the first street you lived on? What's the name of your first pet? What first car did you drive? What's your mother's maiden name? Was it weird like my mother's? Because all of these are answers to your bank questions, your security questions down at the bank. All of these are answers to those questions. So I tell y'all, don't give those answers out, and then you don't have to worry about your identity being stolen. There's a reason it's a security question. It's something only you know about yourself. Scammers don't. But when you openly, willingly admit to and tell everybody the answers to all your questions on Facebook, now they got what they want out of you, they go steal everything from you. How you doing? But you ain't smart enough for that. Oh, Brother Cecil, he's just being what do they call it? He's just being paranoid that somebody's going to try to steal from me. Oh, Brother Cecil, somebody stole my bank account and I'm down $1,500. Whose fault is that? It ain't God's fault. Don't blame him. He didn't tell you to answer them cotton picking questions on Facebook. You did it. Quit it. If I look you in the face and I tell you this person is a scammer, 2 years ago they were here on this channel claiming to have terminal brain cancer. And then at the end of the 2 months when they weren't dead, they were homeless, living in a vehicle. They got hit by a semi. Then they had pancreatic cancer. Then they had stomach cancer. Then it come to find out his daughter got on his phone and typed in that he had been scamming everybody, that he was back in the mental ward, getting put back on his medication. But instead, well, kid, if you feel like that's the wrong context, go kick rocks. Bounce. You're done here. I am tolerating zero bullcrap. In case you didn't understand that. I am tolerating zero bullcrap. If you type bullcrap in here, I don't care how long you've been here, you're gone. You're going to get spread on the field. But the fact of the matter is this. And it won't do you any good to email me. You'll go straight to the spam box. So don't waste my time or yours. Morning, Teresa. Morning, Indian Creek. Hey, Overbuilt. But you don't have to call out that low-hanging fruit. Why? That rotted fruit. Why? Well, guess what, Milk? You don't have to watch. And you certainly don't have to speak. I can see that the trolls are back. Here we go. You admins get ready. That idiot and his crowd thinks that I won't find them. They're mistaken. I got people on it right now. And I don't care how many proxy servers they go through. My people are better. They'll find them. It ain't John. But that rotten fruit, man, people ain't got to worry about calling it out. It'll get found when somebody starts to taste it. But you got to be careful of that rotted fruit. Because one rotted apple at the bottom of a barrel of good ones will soon spoil the whole barrel. And that's why I try to keep the rotted fruit out of my church. I don't want it to spoil the whole barrel. Guys, I love you. Not nearly as much as God, but I love y'all. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit the little bell icon, click all, and you'll be notified when I go live or upload videos. If you gave a super chat, thank you. That's how we eat. If you didn't and you want to support the ministry and the family, how to do so is down in the description of every video. And Brent's got the post office box put up there. There's an email address that works for PayPal. There's a link down there for PayPal. There's a link for all three of my books. They can be purchased over on Amazon in paperback or electronic version. Yeah, please don't forget to hit that big thumbs up button. That helps us a lot. We appreciate that. Over on Facebook Instant Messenger, +$, type in what you want, and it goes straight into the bank account. And we appreciate that. Guys, I love you, not nearly as much as God, but I love you. And I want to prepare you now. I will not be here on Friday. I'm taking Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. I will not answer emails. I will not answer messages on those days. Know this. It's not gonna happen. Love you guys. Praying for you. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. I see y'all